You got it down.
Here we are for the 15 Red podcast with Scott and Mike. Sorry about the late start, guys. About 34 minutes late, but technical issues my end. And finally, we've got there now. Thanks for Scott and Mike for being so patient. Really, really sorry about that, guys. But, you know, stress of life and everything like that, we're okay. So talking about any news items that you guys have found today or any comments that were left about that harshly, very harshly, I thought, about the Hawkins Bingham game last night, which Hawkins won 6-2.
Yeah.
And some very harsh comments about that, wasn't there?
Yeah. Well, yes, it was a scrappy match, but can I just say, those that are being so harsh, like it's just people overreacting on social media, I think.
Yeah,
I think that's
stating the fact that Bingham's never done anything in the game and Hawkins hasn't. That is a bit harsh.
I
isn't
mean,
it?
yes, I would.
Bingham has won a world title. Hawkins has finished runner-up in a world final. So you can't say they haven't done anything in the game.
Yeah. Although I did find it interesting in that match that both players went over 50 minutes each without putting a ball. I mean, you don't see too many matches where...
Yeah, I mean,
they did.
I know it was scrappy, but there's a difference between a scrappy match and just not knowing what you're talking about.
But still no less intriguing, though. I mean,
yeah,
intriguing.
that's what I think. The standard doesn't have to be good for the match to be good, because it can be like the misses add to the drama.
Of course.
Exactly, yeah. Absolutely. And I think what people were saying were, again, you know, when they went out of the room, when they went out and left halfway through the frame to go to the toilet or something, and they, you know, it was just a bit, it's all a bit strange, that match. I just found it all a bit strange, but I thought Hawkins overall was the better player.
Oh, without question. Yeah.
There was one turning point in that match.
Yeah.
Bingham missing the red.
Yeah, frame 4.
That was the easiest red I've ever seen.
And he was in, it was away, wasn't he?
He would have won that frame.
Yeah. So we were just saying before that, you know, because Bingham had to come through Trump to get into that quarterfinal. And we were stating that Trump isn't at his best at the moment, is he? You've said that he's lost to, you know, he lost at the Welsh Open, he lost now at the Players' Championship. Just not there.
Wow.
Yeah, I've wondered that about his struggles. Is he fully invested at the moment? Is he waiting for the World Championships? Does he need a break like what Neil Robertson did last week in Wales? I mean, you just...
Well, he's not going to grow a hair style like that, is he?
No, oh, good Lord, no. But
sorry,
but can you really call 2 matches a struggle?
Well, that was Mike's expression, I think.
It was, but it's not necessarily the fact he lost; it's the way he lost. He lost to Vahehi in Wales. Like, that's really unsuspecting. And then lose Stuart Bingham. Like, with all due respect to Stuart Bingham, like, you don't expect Judd Trump to lose to these guys.
No, Stuart Bingham played very, very well in that match.
I don't think Mike's underrating Bingham's performance against Trump. I think he's underrating Trump's performance.
Yeah.
Just slightly off. Is he struggling a little bit? You know, is he waiting for the World Championships? Maybe the grind's getting to him.
Well,
you know, there's any reason.
We have won 4 tournaments, so...
I'm not saying he's had a bad season, Scott. No. I'm just saying maybe not necessarily.
You know. So yeah, I've just had a comment, by the way. Sorry, I've just had a comment while my laptop plays up. Sorry, just a second. My laptop's got a bit worried, so just carry on, guys. Just a second.
So yeah, I'm just.
That's fine. I've got it now. I saw it. I've just got a comment, by the way. Say hello to McGuigan Norman. I know him. He works for the Mind at War for soldiers and stuff. So he said hello to us as watching in. So yeah, I was just going to reply to him. But hello to you, McGuigan Norman there. But yeah, carry on what you're saying, Mike, about Trump. I'm really sorry about that.
I mean, it's just something that I've noticed the last little while. He doesn't look quite right. It's not saying he hasn't had. He's had a fantastic season. I'm just saying, is he a little bit off? Is he vulnerable to going out early in the World Championships? Just something to ponder.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I get what you're saying there, Mike. Definitely, because like you say, he's off form. It's not the Trump that we know. I totally get that. And to lose to Bingham, although he did lose to Bingham in a final frame decider.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think maybe the Welsh are a bit more alarming than losing to Bingham. Like, you don't expect.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
he's asked how we're doing. Hope we're all keeping safe and well. I'm sure we're all keeping safe and well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just that's nice of him to be watching in. So, and Maxine McClellan, who's watching in as well in your part of the world, Mike.
Well, fantastic. She's in Canada.
Well, she's over there somewhere. I know she's in America somewhere.
She's on the North American continent.
She is, yeah, exactly.
Hi to her as well.
Yeah. So last night's match, then Hawkins beating Bingham 6-2, and then, of course, today, Karen Wilson beating Neil Robertson, and Robertson beat Lu Ning in the first stages. Was he not there today against Wilson at all?
Not really. Wilson was superb.
Yeah, he was. That match got a little bit scrappy in parts as well, but Wilson was definitely the better player, and looked like Neil used up all his scoring power against Lu Ning because he didn't really.
And by the way, breaking news: Kyron missed one with a rest.
Yeah, that's unusual, isn't it? You don't see that too often.
No. Kyron's normally confident with the rest.
One of the best on the circuit, I would say.
Yeah.
That's very, very strange.
Yeah.
It's only one. I mean, he's not infallible. He's not gold.
No, absolutely not. But Neil Robertson, he didn't get like a ton of chances, but he really didn't capitalize like he did against Lu Ning.
Yeah.
Full marks to Kyron. He made the shots count, and definitely the better player of the two, and deserves to be in the semis tomorrow.
And I know I'm making a joke here, but is his hairstyle putting him off? Sorry. Sorry. I know you're sick of that, Scott. Sorry. McGuigan is asking what's tonight's topic question.
Topic question?
We'll go for the season one, will we?
I think that's a good idea. Let's talk about the season standard. Is that the one you're talking about, Scott?
Okay.
Let's get on that. So what are you guys' thoughts on do you think the standard of play is much better in the empty arena as opposed to with a...
Can I start there, Graham?
Of course you can. Yeah, you go for it.
I think, yes, it is. Because if you look at the finals we've had this season, we had 4 final frame deciders. Yes, we had a couple of one-sided finals in the German Masters and the Scottish Open. 9-2 to Trump and 9-3 to Selby. But apart from that, the other finals have been superb. And I mean, all you have to do is look at this Players' Championship and how many high-quality matches have we had.
Yeah, I know you made a point off air yesterday saying it's the highest standard we've seen of all time. And actually, it's really hard to disagree with that.
Because...
Pointed out.
And all right, in lockdown, obviously you watch more TV than you would normally. So I've probably watched more snooker in the last, of this season than any other season.
Me too.
But
Me too, as well. I'm finding myself watching a lot more snooker because of you two guys.
I know, but but even just looking back at the sort of decade and a half that I can remember watching snooker live, this is probably the best I've seen for that in that sort of sustained period.
Yeah, it's going to be different when crowds are allowed back.
Yeah.
Like, are we going to notice that drop in standard? Because right now, I mean, the standard is so high.
Look,
it'd be
interesting
to see how it goes.
I don't think the crowds will make much difference, right?
Well, aren't you contradicting what you're saying though? Because you're saying it's the highest standard it's ever been,
I'm saying,
and now,
I'm saying the snooker is the highest standard.
okay, but
I'm
when
not necessarily.
You saying
I'm not necessarily.
snooker is the highest standard this season?
Aye, the highest standard. The snooker this season has been the highest standard we've ever seen. I think over a sustained season. I don't think the crowds probably will make a wee bit of a difference, but you know these players are so good at probably.
I think it'll make a bit of a difference too. But I mean, it's a good thing. Snooker's a line for crowds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as good as the standard spin. There's also some kind of kickbacks to it as well.
I know.
Like,
But then at the same time, in conventional snooker, I'm not talking about the shootout, the crowd have to be quiet anyway.
oh yeah, but I mean, there's the atmosphere that it generates.
Indeed, yes.
Where
Yeah, I
it's happening.
agree. I totally agree.
So
The sooner we get fans back, the better. I think we're all agreed on that.
regardless of what happens to the standard, it'll come down a little. I'm okay with that because the crowd brings that, makes up the difference.
What's your thoughts on that, Graham?
Well, I'm just looking at my comments here, and I've had a very a question from McGregor Norman again, who's saying we're actually covering snooker. By the way, we're not covering golf. He's asked me. He's asked me any news on Tiger Woods, and after his car smash, and we're actually covering snooker. But the news on Tiger Woods is I think he's all right after his crash. So I'll answer that question. I've just Googled it. So yeah.
Well, he's in the same sort of establishment as the Duke of Edinburgh because he's in hospital.
That's
not
right.
the same hospital, but
I would just like to say I hope that Tiger Woods does pull through that particular situation that he's in, and the Duke of Edinburgh, of course.
Indeed.
Back to your question, Scott. Then yes, I think with the current season that we're seeing with lockdown and no fans in, I think there is some good standard of snooker about, but I also think that it was good standard when the crowds were in.
Yeah, of course.
It does create a buzz around the place, an electric atmosphere. As Rob Walker said, can you imagine if there was people in here? The electric atmosphere. The last time that there were crowds in here. Well, you know, I'm not going to carry on, but you know what he's like, and you know, it would be electric. We know that, Rob. We know this. You know.
Yeah.
Rob Walker.
The Celtic manner. Yeah.
Yeah. But
by the way, the Tour Championship back at Celtic Manor. The Tour Championship's back at Celtic Manor.
Oh, is it?
I was just asking if Rob Walker can get over the Celtic Manor recent event.
Yeah.
All right.
I know.
Right, we get it. You don't like Rob Walker.
No, I'm not disrespecting the guy. He's, you know, but commentary. Anyway.
Agreed.
Yeah, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Yes.
My predictions, by the way, went well last night. I got Barry Hawkins, and you two went for Bingham.
Yeah.
And I went for Wilson, and you two went for Robertson. So I've gained on you a little bit.
6 full points there, isn't it?
It's 4 points actually. It's 4 points.
I thought we got one for a loss. My bad.
Yeah, minus one for the wrong answer. Yes.
So then you've gained 6 or 4.
I've actually gained
6 points because we lose 1 each.
Yeah,
and you've gained 2.
Yeah, so I'm on 32 points now. After that, Scott is on 58 for 2 wrongs, and Mike, you're on 44.
Oh boy, we're all kind of separated by the same amount almost.
Yeah. So, yeah. But tonight's predictions and tomorrow's will tell us where we're going with that.
Have we covered the preview of Lazowski and Ronnie? We haven't
No,
done the preview.
We haven't done it yet.
Do that.
The quiz, by the way, the quiz topped up their points from the Welsh Open. So that's why That's why it's a little bit over the shot, but it's still going, so we're okay. So tonight
we'll get a couple of trivia questions in there as well. So don't fear.
So let's talk about first of all, Legowski and Ronnie.
Ronnie and Jack.
Yep. We've all picked O'Sullivan there, by the way, in our predictions.
Yeah. Score?
Yeah. Should be a great match, fast match, high standard match.
6-3, Ronnie, I'm going.
Yeah, 6-3 or 6. Yeah, 6-3 sounds about right.
Yeah.
6-4, I reckon.
6-4.
Okay. So would you, if you didn't have a prediction, Scott, and you were just watching it without, and Mike, if you're just watching it without doing this broadcast, would you think Lazowski would have a little bit of a chance against Ronnie?
He might, because their game suits each other. They both like to attack. They both get on with. So, like, Ronnie will know that if he's not bang up for us, Jack could have a chance. And Jack will know that he's got to play the snooker of his life to beat him. So,
yep. By the way, having said that, Ronnie in the first round came through the 6-5 with Ding. When we thought Ding was on the fade down, he actually got in a decider with Ronnie. So,
yeah, and actually that was the third time in a row that Ronnie and Ding have gone to deciders.
Yes.
And Scott found out the information that I wanted to know
about Ronnie's deciders.
Yeah, how many was that against Scott?
He's played 238, and he's won 151 of them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that tells us all we need to know. Yeah. I didn't think, honestly, I didn't think it was that high, 238.
No, well, you've got to consider he's been playing for nearly 30 years.
I thought Ronnie was that good that he didn't get him many deciders, to be honest. That's from my personal thought.
No, well, he's lost a few high-profile finals and deciders. He's lost not only the Jordan Brown one. Of course, he made a maximum in the decider in the UK Championship against Selby in 2007. Hendry made a maximum against him in the Liverpool Victoria Challenge decider in '97.
Yeah.
No,
what would you say then, Scott, is Ronnie's greatest match ever?
2001 that he won or one that he lost?
Any of them, eh? Well, he can still have a great match if he loses.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the greatest match that he lost is easy. The Masters final in 2006. He makes 60 in the decider. Higgins clears up with 64.
That's right, and beat him on a double with a red.
Yeah, that was. I put that. I know people are going to go mad at me for saying this because but I would put that match as probably the greatest of all time.
Okay, all right.
With the caveat, people say, what about 1985? Well, if you actually look at it, the 1985 match was a great finish, but it wasn't really all that. It wasn't
the greatest of finals, but I think what people think is the greatest match ever because, like you say, the end of it. But I think it was Taylor's comeback against the greatest player around then. That's the underdog coming back. I think that's what mainly classes it as the greatest match.
Yeah, but in terms of if you mix quality and drama, it's that Masters final in 2006 between him and John.
Yep, I would agree with that, Judge.
Which is why I think Ronnie and John is the greatest rivalry of all time, by the way. But
what's the greatest match that he's won?
Greatest match Ronnie has won. Well, depend. I'm going to say that Masters 2014 against Ricky Walton when he had 556 points without reply.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Pretty comprehensive.
Can't dispute
some stuff there.
And what about Lazowski? He came through 6-3 against Martin Gold. We
should have been a lot easier, but got through it.
Yeah, we know that Martin, well, is an average sort of player. I know that he's not the greatest player, but he can still play. I mean, you know,
Yeah, that's a good
he's on
win
the
for
down
Jack.
now. Yeah, and he, like I say, Ladowski beat him 6-3, so it'll be an interesting game against Ronnie.
Yeah.
But I think Ronnie, like we say, I think Ronnie will come through.
It actually starts in 6 minutes' time, but
Yes.
I would have to say he would have to play better than he played.
He will
against
do.
to beat Jack.
Yeah, he will do.
Absolutely. And tomorrow's game looks an absolute mouthwaterer.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, it's a repeat of 2 World Finals, as I said last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we've gone for Selby. Well, Mike's gone for Selby. I've gone for Selby. And you've gone for Higgins, Scott.
Well, I've gone for John purely on the scoring evidence of the first match, really.
Yeah, but there again, I think Selby can just get to him a little bit and rattle him and frustrate Higgins, because Higgins likes to pop balls. He doesn't like to play safety like Selby does.
No.
What? You must be joking. That man's the greatest safety player of all time.
So Selby,
John.
I don't know about that. He's great. He's come back in frames. He can steal frames from 60 points, 6 points down. But against Selby, Selby's a great safety. But I know I'm going to get wrong for saying this. I know I'm going to get wrong for saying, but
he's
Selby,
one of the best tacticians of all time.
Absolutely, and I think he is a better tactician than Higgins. Myself.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I would say they're even. Okay,
let's agree. We'll disagree on that one. Agree to
but it will be a mouth-watering contest.
Yeah. See, would you say, Mike, on that one, that Higgins is one of the greatest safety players?
I wouldn't say he's the greatest safety player, but I would say he's one of the best match players. Like, he understands how to score. His break building very complete. He knows. He's one of the best match players of all time for sure.
But is he up there with
Sullivan? Is he up? Say specifically, he's one of the greatest tacticians of all time. But I think his all-round game is one of the best match players of all time.
Yeah, is he?
Absolutely.
Like I say, is he up there with the O'Sullivans and the Trumps and all that sort of thing?
Oh yeah, you got to.
Does he match them?
Put him up there?
Yeah, he has to be put in the top 10 of all-time great players. Absolutely, you can't.
Oh
yeah.
You can't do all these. Yeah. I put him in the top 10, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I go back to my top 5, wherever that was, we did have.
Higgins was
Higgins, Johnny, he's put in your top 5.
Well, I am.
And he's
3.
Yeah, he's not in Mike's though, but he's in his top 10. And he's not in my top 5 either. So he put him in the top 10.
I had him at 7. I had him after Joe Davis, Fred Davis, John Higgins. That's where I had him. He was at 7 on my list.
Well, I put him in 3rd.
Yeah, you did. With Ronnie and Hendry in your top 2. So yeah. There we go. So Higgins against Selby tomorrow then. So that's, like we say, a mouth-watering contest. What's the heads-to-head look like with them two?
Scott?
Pretty even. I think it's like 11-all or something.
Oh wow, very good. Not surprised, but that's very good.
I'll check that and put it up afterwards. But I think it's pretty even.
Oh, okay.
And of course, the winner of Jack and Ronnie plays Barry Hawkins. So we say Ronnie will get through to play Hawkins if we're on that notion.
Repeat of the
do you think he'll overcome
13 World Final, of course.
It is, yeah. I think Ronnie will come through Hawkins himself.
Yeah, because Hawkins has only beaten him once out of 17 attempts, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what will be interesting to see Higgins or Selby go through to play Wilson.
That'd be interesting.
And I don't think I could pick a winner between Selby, Higgins, or Wilson.
Kyron's up and coming.
But that quarter of a draw that John Higgins has got.
pretty
Oh,
tough.
in the Gibraltar? Are we talking about Gibraltar Open?
No, we're talking about the Players' Championship. What a quarter of the draw John will have come through if he wins it. Because he'll have had Jordan Brown 6-0. Jordan Brown, who's just won the last tournament. Mark Selby, who's a 3-time world champion. Possibly Kyron Wilson. And possibly Ronnie in the final.
Yeah, that'd be quite a run, that.
Yeah.
Especially after not having won a ranking tournament for 3 years.
Yeah.
He hasn't done much lately, John, but, he's still hanging around there. He's still there.
Do you know that John Higgins has been in the top 16 every year since 1994?
Wow. You see, he's hanging around there, you see.
And by the way, he's never got lower than number 8 in that time.
Wow, that's impressive.
That is an incredible record.
That is impressive.
So that is a stat.
That is a stat.
Thank you, Dave Hendon.
Yeah. Yes.
What do you think of Hendon as a commentator, by the way?
I think he's very good.
I think, I like Philip Studd as well. I think he's a very good commentator. But Hendon himself, he's knowledgeable. He knows the game, and
he's writing is very good too. I read some of his articles. He's a good one. I like him.
Subscribe to Snooker Scene, do you?
Yeah, I get all the snooker like blogs and match reports and all that.
Ah, yeah.
And it's usually written by Dave Hendon.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, he's very informative.
He'd be a great guest to get on here.
He would.
He would. We're trying very hard for someone like him.
Of course, he's got his own podcast, so
he has, yeah. He's working hard. I do have him on Instagram, so I have messaged him. But nothing.
You'd be better to get him on Twitter, I think.
Yeah. Well, his message box not open on there, but it was on Instagram. So, but like I said, I'm waiting for Goldstein to come on. I'm still waiting for when it says Andy Goldstein is live, and then I'll put in the comments and I'll bombard him with us. By the way, I just want to let you know that the 147 wasn't done by Neil Robertson. So that's a wrong one there, Mike. You lose a point for that on that one. Still John Higgins tomorrow. But is there any other prediction you want to go for tonight or tomorrow for a 147?
Well, Jack could do it tonight. That'd be great.
Well, no, we've still got Higgins tomorrow, Scott, me and you. I'm just asking Mike if he wants to pick someone else. If he wants to take the risk of losing another point or gaining. That's the thing. Does he take the gamble?
Does Jack Lazowski make one tonight? All right, what the heck? I'll take Jack Lazowski.
As your bonus.
That'll be it. I'll risk a point to try and get one.
Don't put this down at my points or anything, but this is just a hope. A Higgins O'Sullivan final. 9-0. Hold on. 9-0. Ronnie wins it with a max.
Okay. I thought you were going to say, all right, and we'll go with this. Higgins O'Sullivan final goes to 9. It goes to 8 all.
9-0.
9-0, yeah, but before that, 9-8 to either one of them. The one that's going 9-8 gets a 147 to bring it to 9-0, and then it ends with a black ball finish.
That would be interesting.
Or respot black. Whichever.
Respot black would be all right.
By the way, right, here's a question for you. Here's our trivia question, and if either you get this right, you get 2 extra, right?
Okay. Okay. Oh dear.
Ronnie and John first played in the World Final in 2001.
Yes.
Name the players they beat in the semi-finals.
Gee, he don't ask easy questions, does he?
Peter
Nope.
Webden.
Oh, hang on. Wait a minute.
He's got it.
Matt Williams.
No, that was the year before.
Okay.
Dear.
Stephen
No,
Hendry.
that was the year after Stephen Lee. That was the year after.
Yeah.
Stephen Hendry.
No, that was the year after.
Okay. All right. You should. You got me on that.
Joe-
You got me stumped.
Swale and Matthew Stevens.
Wow. Do you know?
yeah.
Joe Swale. What's happened to Joe Swale, by the way?
He's now coaching on our local amateur team in Northern Ireland.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he was a good player, Joe was.
Joe
Yeah,
Swale.
two times semi-final in a row. He got the highest break in 2001, by the way.
It's a
Yeah.
shame that he dropped out of the circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there you are. Anyway, so
No 2 points for either of you there.
no, definitely not. So could we consider just go for a minute, considering a Hawkins Wilson final?
Ooh.
How would that pan out?
Wilson,
That'd be a close.
9-6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see Wilson winning, but Barry's a funny one. You never know. He might not get to a final, so maybe he comes up with his best stuff at the end.
Yeah, I think Wilson's stronger than Hawkins.
Yeah,
really, I think he's a lot stronger player.
Yeah.
Good up and coming guy, but even though he always wears them shoes that are kind of weird, with the red band on them. It's like, what are you doing, Kyron? What was that all about? And when I saw him playing live, it was funny actually because I saw him playing live against Jamie Jones in the quarterfinal, 2018.
Oh yes, the other one.
Yeah, and it was funny because he played a long red. Oh no, was it a long green or something? He put it a long green, fantastic shot into the right corner. And after the clapping had died down, just to try and get on telly, I just said, "Good shot, Kyron," and he turned around and said, "Cheers." I was like, "Great, I got on telly, brilliant."
That's funny.
That's just
Give you a stare of death, did he?
no, he didn't actually. But yeah, that was quite funny. Do you remember that match that Wilson was playing, and the mobile phone went off 3 times as he got down to play that one shot?
It was the
And he
master,
said,
wasn't it?
"Yeah," and he said, "Don't chuck him out, let him back in afterwards."
Yes, I
and he
do,
was
yeah.
quite good about it, wasn't he?
No, but you know what? It was an elderly man that didn't know how to work the phone.
Yeah. Virgo used to say, "If your phone goes off, answer it and tell him you're coming home."
Yeah, that was it. I remember. Do you remember John Street, the referee from years ago?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was once reffing at the Crucible, and somebody was rustling a bag of jelly babies, and it was a husband and wife, and John Street says to the man, "Can you keep that bag quiet, please?"
Yeah. My whole good for her. Yeah. I bet
That's a good
she
one.
wants to get over there and whack him one. That's not a joke either. That's true.
That's true.
Yeah. Mm.
Wow.
All right.
Dear me. By the way, just going on to the Gibraltar Open, just talking about Stephen Hendry a bit. I actually posted, I don't know if you watched it, but I actually posted his practice session. He made a video putting a red down the cushion. He made a video putting a red down the cushion.
Oh yeah.
No, that was quite fun. That was yeah. It's like, all right, turn the camera off now. I've done enough.
Yeah.
Oh dear, Stephen. That's funny.
I noticed some of the professionals speaking out, thinking that it's not going to go so well for him. Kind of like we've been saying here for quite a few weeks.
I think he was on the commentary last night talking about the Bingham game.
About it.
And he
Yeah,
said, And he said, well, for one thing, I wouldn't have a frame this long or something. Oh,
Yeah. I know. He was commentating at one stage today, and he says that I can't criticise anybody's shots, otherwise they'll be looking to get into the commentary box and commentate on me next week.
Yeah.
Well, like we say, he's got Matthew Selt, and we said yesterday, we spoke about that Selt will come through Hendry, because Hendry doesn't, I don't think Hendry knows what he's let himself in for.
He doesn't.
No.
And Ronnie was right in his comments saying rat race. I think he was right. It might sound harsh, but I think he was right. He doesn't know what he's in for.
Getting himself into, yeah, I absolutely agree with him. And I also agree.
9 years off the circuit, and you come back for professional matches, match play. Really?
Yeah, it's just absurd.
It is absurd. It is.
Yeah.
Foolish.
It's a waste
Foolish.
of time. Yeah, exactly. He's doing more harm than good.
Yeah. It's the thing that I've always said. There's a generation of fans that don't know how good he was as a player.
Yeah,
that's true.
And the thing is, Scott, with that, I was thinking about what you were saying, and when he plays again, how bad he plays, or if he plays well, or whatever, he's probably not going to win many tournaments on the season, or if he stays for next season, he's not going to win many, right? But I was thinking
I don't think
that his reputation is going to go down.
Absolutely.
Because of the way he plays. And most people just look at the season now or next season, and they don't look at the past results. They don't look at past history.
No, like I know I'm a stats geek, but I know I'm pretty rare. There aren't many of us around. Like
No,
there aren't many of us that really know the history of the game very well. So so I'm saying, Stephen, if he's listening, which he probably isn't, because he's probably in the commentary box, but if you are, Stephen, don't come back. Pull out.
Yeah.
I think he's there to stay now, Scott. For however he gets on, he might, even if he loses 4-0 to Selt, he might consider, hang on a minute, and then retire again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends.
Short experiment.
I know what. And by the way,
I think he'll stay around for the World Championship and retire again. That's personally what I think he'll do. But he's got to qualify. He's got to qualify first.
Yeah. By the way, do you see his stats? Does he start over a game, or do we just add on to his previous record? Do you think
they just add? I think they'll just add on.
I think it adds on. Absolutely. Yeah. Having the 9-year gap and his stats accumulate again. Do you think he wins a match?
I think it is a foolish decision. I really do. If you've gone out of the professional game, that's where you should stay.
100%.
Because look, Stephen, like if it was somebody like me, and I say I was a professional, and I retired, and I'd probably expect to come back, because if I retired, because I have that mind, I can remember stats, I can remember things. Whereas Stephen's hopeless at remembering past matches and things. You ever hear him in the commentary box? He's terrible at getting results wrong and things. So he can't even remember what it was like to play, never mind, so he doesn't know how the circuit works and doesn't know what he's let himself in for.
Absolutely.
That's very different now, for sure, compared to when he played the 90s.
I mean, I don't know whether you saw that quiz that I put up from David Caulfield on Snooker HQ about rankings in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember what he was saying there? The rankings in those days were only updated once a season.
Yeah, that's right. Now they're updated tournament. Every result.
You know what? I'm interested to look at what his ranking is now. Does he have a ranking at the moment?
Well, he's 128 out of 128 simply because he hasn't played a match.
Right.
Is that right? Is he 128?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, current ranking 128. Yeah, he's right. Yeah. So that's another shocking figure, isn't it? That he's down right down there now, when he was top.
Well, it's kind of false because.
Is there any other examples of someone in snooker coming out of retirement and starting up?
That's a good point. Has anyone come out of retirement?
Nobody's ever done it. Nobody's ever.
Who did?
Done it. And there's a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what's the reason?
They've realised they're rubbish.
Fair enough. I think. Well, could Ronnie do it? Do you think if he had a 9-year absence?
No.
I don't think.
No.
I don't think Ronnie would come back. To be fair.
No, I don't think he comes back.
Ronnie, right? Can I say that there are certain snooker players that will be in it when they retire? Like Robertson will always be in it. Murphy will always be involved in it. Like Doherty's always been involved in it. McManus has always been involved in it.
Absolutely.
Ronnie's not one of them. I think whenever Ronnie packs it in.
That's it. I agree with you, Scott.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I agree too.
Whenever he packs it in, I know he does a bit of pundit work with Eurosport now whenever he gets knocked out, but I can't see that carrying on.
No, I think he's got other things, other ambitions, other ideas. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but if that was me and I was a pro player, I'd want to stay there forever.
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, there are players that are going to do that.
Like Robertson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well,
Robertson did an interview on Dave Henton's podcast about 3 years ago.
Okay.
That man basically is like his own personal version of Q Tracker.
Yes, he is. He's a very knowledgeable guy of the game.
But I mean,
like from the history.
he can remember his own stats. He can.
Yeah.
He wants to play a part in the history of the game. He knows all the facts and the history of it.
Yeah, he's a geek, if you will.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's basically me as a player.
Don't flatter yourself, sir.
I know, but I said as a player, not.
I'm just pulling your leg, bud.
Yeah. But anyway, so Ronnie to come through tonight, and
Ronnie we say Ronnie to come through the Players' Championship tonight. I've just got other watchers coming in, so I'll just tell them that we're on the 15 Red podcast, guys. Follow us on our group. Keep following us on the YouTube channel as well, just to plug that on the 15 podcast YouTube channel.
Are we doing blog posts for the Players' Championship?
Well, I haven't done any currently. I finished up the last blog that I put up was today. I finished off the last session of the Brown O'Sullivan final from the Welsh Open to tidy it up. Yeah. So I've done that. If anybody, if Mike, I know he's a good writer. If he does want to do any on the Players' Championship, he's more than welcome.
Yeah, I'll do. I'll probably cover Jack Lazowski and Ronnie O'Sullivan, and I'll post it in the comment section.
Yeah. Then I'll add it to the blog page. Lovely.
Perfect. Sounds great. Yep.
Yeah. That's great. So Ronnie tonight, Higgins in Selby tomorrow.
What a contest!
We've got Higgins down for a 147 there, Scott. We have, and we've also gone for Selby. You've gone for Higgins, and Mike's on Selby as well. So tomorrow to look forward to.
The dream title is still on.
Another topic that I wanted to cover was categorising players. So the lower ranked players, so let me try and put this in context. No, let me try and put it into context for you. What I was trying to think. So I was going Ding Junhui, Neil Robertson, Ali Carter, Mark Williams, all them kind of players. But then you've got Robertson's in there as well, I think. And then you've got O'Sullivan, and who matches him?
John.
I think in the mid section you've got Bingham, you've got Hawkins, Lazowski, sort of nearly men.
Yeah.
But you've got O'Sullivan, and who matches O'Sullivan? Really?
John.
Up to date.
I think Judd, only guy right now. Judd's the only guy that Ronnie O'Sullivan knows.
I'll basically say who's in Ronnie's level. That's what I'm trying to say. Who's in Ronnie's level?
Only Judd trying to me.
All time, John.
Oh, all time? Is this all time?
No, I'm talking about the current
Judd.
this season.
Currently, I say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And all
But
time.
if you're talking about all time, I would say John.
Okay.
He would be all.
Say the last 5 years.
Selby.
Yeah, Selby, I would say is right there. That's right now. That's the best rivalry in snooker currently.
Yeah.
So Selby would be in that group for the last 5
years. Yeah, I was just trying to categorize players like the lower ranked players, like Martin Gould. And you've got Ryan Day-ish. He's like mid player, isn't he? Yeah. Kyron Wilson as well. He's not up there with the Trump and Ronnies.
No.
All the middle section players who don't really do much with the game, who don't really progress. That's what I'm trying to get to. Players who are not progressing.
Sorry. The only thing I would say is Bingham has won world titles. So that's sort of
absolutely. Yeah,
he's the best of the sort of nearly men, if you like.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, nearly men to the actual guys who actually win stuff. That's what I'm about.
I would definitely say Kyron disappointed me in the World Final last year. The way the match out, I was bitterly disappointed. I thought that was his chance to kind of get up into that elite group. And
is Sean Murphy up there in the elite group, or is he an early man?
No, I would say Sean's there.
Yeah.
Oh, you put him in the elite? Oh, yeah.
Like 9 ranking titles isn't bad.
No, but would you say he's on Ronnie's level?
Not really, but then again, I'd certainly put him in my top 20, Sean.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's a good, he's a dangerous player, of course.
Like, I mean,
Stephen McGraw was an early man.
Yeah, but coming onto the second, Murphy became only the second qualifier to win the world title.
I want to see them sort of players progressing more in the game. That's what I want to see. Like they're just hanging around, but they're not doing anything. Yeah,
I could make that claim for Ding.
I know.
Absolutely, he's an early man as well.
Well, in terms of world titles, yes, he has won the UK 3 times, though, which is sort of.
I mean, something, but it's not elite. He's not going down as an all-time.
No.
Great.
I think we can agree on that.
Yeah, like Barry Hawkins, he should be progressing as well. The amount of years that they've been on the tour, they don't do much. They don't win as many tournaments as they should do, I guess. That's another thing I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but their ability has not been their stats don't match their ability, if you like.
That's exactly you've hit the nail on the head there. It's a good debate though. It's a good debate to put forward.
Yeah, because do you base it on pure stats, or do you base it on ability, or do you?
I'm basing of how long they've been in the game and what they've done in the game.
Oh, their longevity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Ronnie's been around for nearly 30 years.
So was John.
And the amount of stuff. Yeah, and Higgins and O'Sullivan. So I know you put Higgins in the elite group, but O'Sullivan has won a vast amount of tournaments compared to someone who's been there, like Williams, who hasn't won as much as Ronnie. You see what I mean? That sort of.
Well, Williams, Ronnie, and John have won between them 88 ranking titles.
Yeah,
it's madness. The six. Actually, here's a sort of world championship stat for you. The last time one of the 3 of them didn't make at least the quarterfinals was 1995.
Oh, jeez! Wow, that's a crazy stat. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't see this year being any different. There'll be at least one of those guys will be in the semi-final.
Quarters.
Sorry, quarterfinal.
Yeah. And then,
You got to believe it.
and then, of course, you get players like Ursenbacher, Boyko,
Aaron Hill.
Aaron Hill, and all that sort of, and all them sort of players. They're not even in the nearly status, are they? In sort of the middle section, they're below them, and that's what I mean by categorising players.
Yeah,
that's another thing we could look at doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Tiers, tier 1, tier 2,
Tier
all the way
2,
down.
tier 3, yeah.
I don't think we'll do tiers at the minute, given.
Well,
very true.
Yeah.
I tell you something, I'm in tears here, guys.
Literally, I know.
Literally tears, yeah.
By the way,
but do you get what I mean by what I'm saying?
Yes,
I do.
Okay.
Here's another trivia question for you. How many finals have John and Ronnie played against each other?
Okay.
How many World Championship finals?
No, finals.
I think just final. Okay, so we go. I'm going to say this isn't going on the points, is it? By the way, no.
It won't. No, it won't.
Okay. I'm going to go with 8 or 9.
No.
I'll go 16. 16.
You're
60.
Final. All time.
No.
Time, right?
16. Did you say?
I said 16.
I thought you said 60 for a minute.
No, 16.
17.
Oh, there you are.
Close,
Okay.
close.
Hopefully 18 by the end of the week.
That would be something to watch, you know, Higgins O'Sullivan, yeah. I think that would be a good final.
Absolutely. Very fitting.
Yeah.
Greatest rivalry of all time. End of story. Goodbye, Dolly.
And good night. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of our broadcast for tonight.
Yep.
Let's
go watch Ronnie and Jack.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry about the technical issues before, but we got there in the end.
Indeed.
And we shall be back tomorrow night at 6. Hopefully, technical problems avoided. We'll be back at 6, and
God willing.
And we'll have the Lizowski Ronnie result and the Higgins Selby result. Hopefully, if that's in by 6.
Excellent.
So,
sounds great.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very
Goodbye.
much.
Have a good. Enjoy the match. See ya.
See ya.